Hey y'all. So I'm about to try the mukbang thing by myself. Lobster tail, baked potato. I see them do this on the videos and I'll be over here cringing. Okay. Alright. So, alright. So what I want to talk about is what are you doing alternatively that you to make extra money right now? What are you doing alternatively to bring extra income into your household while being at home, where you don't have to get out and potentially risk exposing yourself to the virus? What are you doing at home that's helping you get by? Send me some suggestions. I will say, won't be able to hold much down. Or get much down, I should say. But it's delicious. I have watched so many. Be careful. Be careful, Savannah. I have watched, this is just some of my lemon butter. I've watched so many of these mukbangs. I guess there's no wrong way to do it. Everybody just has their own way. When I say I love seafood, I could eat it every day. And I have my own way of how I like to eat it. I don't need a lot of spices on it. I don't need a lot of butter. I love lemon juice. And most of the time all I need is a little butter and lemon. Lately, I've been wanting me some fried catfish. But I want the whole catfish with the fin, the tail on the end of it. And I want to deep fry it. And my Louisiana seafood fry mix that I get from Kroger is so good. And then you sprinkle some lemon juice on top of it. Oh, heaven. Now, Obey has a lemon garlic seasoning too that's really good. I just love lemons with seafood. If I can't use no fresh lemons, you can keep it. A lot of times when I have supported a lot of new small businesses that are selling seafood, it be kind of overcooked. So I just a lot of times like to get home, get settled, and make my own. I've just been trying to think of ways to be able to make money from home. For the next couple weeks. Just seeing how there's been no income for my income literally cut off about 4 weeks ago. Dang, sounds like forever. That's a long time to go without some income, especially when you have responsibility. I do thank God for sustaining us through this time, because it could have been a whole lot worse. It could have been a whole lot worse. I hate talking with food in my mouth, so this is. I also don't like people watching me eat. This had already been, 2019 was rough, okay? Came in 2020, rough. So, it only can get better from here. And if that's to encourage anybody, you know, people can sit all day long, you know, on social media and down people for what they do to be able to keep their household afloat, or the choices they make, or they say things like, well, she shouldn't have had all them kids, or whatever the situation is. They're talking, first of all, and people just love to talk. A lot of times they just like to hear themselves talk, and they just being very judgmental. People can be extremely judgmental, and either way, there are a lot of large families, you know, people that have multiple children that are going through a lot right now. So, are you being resourceful? Are you looking out for all the things that are out here to help? Excuse me, like the small business loan administration or whatever. They got disaster relief funds, your inner city, all your, I don't want to say the wrong agency, but all of your, anybody that's a nonprofit agency that was able to do CAP, which is your energy assistant, any of them those agencies, they have funds to help families. I don't care what your finances was like before this happened. We all know this has been a major change in everybody's financial situation. So they have funds to pay mortgages, pay rent, student loans. They have ways. They have started, they have deferred payments out, so it's not due right now, but it's not penalizing you. A lot of apartment complexes, anywhere where you're renting, landlords, they are taking late fees off. They are letting you pay in payments. Just imagine that. They're letting you pay like 4 payments a month, 3 payments a month, if life could only be that easy every month. They are not adding any fees on. If you're paying with your credit card, they're taking the credit card fees off. I mean, I've heard of so much stuff right now and it might not sound like a whole lot because we still have to pay. You're like, oh my God, I don't have the income to pay. Well, the stimulus money is coming, the first drop of it. I do know that even though you're an entrepreneur and you work for yourself, you will be able to draw unemployment any day now. I'm not sure when that's going to start up. They did say they were starting to release the funds, the stimulus money, as of today, April 9th. This should help somebody, you know, with all those different resources, and, you know, you're just gonna have to play catch up for a little while. It's gonna hurt. Everybody needs to do their part for sure. If you have children and you have your children have their other parents are alive and well and able to work and help, reach out to them, see what they can do to help. It's hard because all your schools and daycares and all that stuff is closed. They do have daycare limited, very limited, available for essential workers, like healthcare and all of that. Healthcare, people who work in healthcare. Excuse me, I'm going to burp a lot. And so once this phase is over, there is going to be an upside of this. I will say, if you ever dreamed of buying a home and you think you are like right at that moment and you can do it, this is the time to do it, okay? Also, if you ever want to expand your business, let's say you was looking for a bigger location, or you were in my situation where I was about to sign a lease for my very first restaurant, 2 days, within 2 days of the shutdown. So I think God saved me, because it wasn't everything I wanted, but baby, now I can get the location I really want. I can make sure the area, the atmosphere, everything is exactly what I want. Now, I was being very particular. I mean, we must have went back and forth for 2 months, negotiating the lease, the terms, everything. And that's why I say sometimes it's good reading the fine print and making sure everything is in your favor from the beginning to the end. And a 5-year, 10-year lease, that's a long time. That's a lot of terms. That's a lot of stuff that can happen during that time. And if you're like me and you don't have funds to go out and hire somebody to advocate for you and to walk into these business meetings for you, it's good to do your research and advocate for yourself, even when you just don't even know if you know what you're talking about. Listen, ask the question. It's your money. They ain't doing you no favor. You're not doing me no favor if I'm about to sign a lease for 5 years and obligate myself to pay out thousands of dollars a month for 5 years. You're not doing me a favor. So, this is something that I'll be doing to invest in my business. So I need to make sure it is exactly what, I want. I want it to work for me. Make sure it works for you. And if it doesn't, walk away. Because what works for you is still out there waiting on you to find it. And so I happen to have a couple of really good friends that motivate me to keep me pushing, because I will say the food service industry is one of the hardest, most expensive businesses you will ever open or ever be a part of. Okay? So the next time you decide to walk in someone's business establishment that's food related, before you start being critical, see what ways you can help. See if they need some help, because it's beyond expensive. And one thing about it is, when you want to give back to your community where you grew up at, where you're at, people not looking to pay you like they pay somebody new come in from Louisiana, open up a Creole restaurant or something. They're not looking, you're not exciting, you're not as exciting. Let me take that back, because I get really good support. Could it be better? Yes, y'all. I want to know everybody. I want everybody to eat with me, okay? But I am so grateful for it all. I'm always so grateful. But I'm just going to say this. It's easier said than done. It is easier said than done. And a lot of the times, what you see happening, if you're not purchasing things from someone that's not in a licensed business, like a building, zoned, coded, fire marshals then came out, you walking into their business, then most likely what they're doing is not so legal. And what I had to realize is, yes, I was able to get me a good set of customers. I was able to serve thousands of meals, thousands out of my house. Imagine that. Now, when I first did this, I never thought about if it was legal. And I've heard of so many people selling pies and cakes, and my mother catered, my grandmother catered, and this is just a generational thing in my family. Everybody cooks and eats. I mean, on both sides of our family. It's just, I never thought it was illegal. I couldn't believe it, honestly. And when I was doing that, I mean, the health department must have called about 3 times in 2019. And every time it was like a voicemail. Then I'll call back. I'll leave a voicemail. Tell her to get back with me. She wouldn't call back. But not to give the full nature of our conversation, but there always going to be somebody who just don't like what you do. That's okay. That's okay. That's why God made billions of us, okay? Because somebody's going to like what you do. Somebody's going to love who you are. They're going to love what you bring to the table. They're going to love what it look like. They're going to love what it tastes like. And they're actually going to pull out their billfold and pay you exactly what you asked for. I don't believe in settling. If you know me, it's not worth it. I have 4 mouths to feed. So I've worked in corporate America for a long time. I spent a long time trying to get my degree. I have thousands of dollars of student loan debt. This is my second business venture, Savannah's Kitchen. My first business venture, I was only 25 years old. At that time, I was a mother of 2, a single mother of 2, working at Chase Bank in the call center. And I was about to get an income tax return. And I also needed a new car. I was buying used cars from auctions and stuff, going through the mill, okay? But I had to always keep transportation, so I just kept buying up. I just didn't want a car note, so I just kept doing that. I was getting Section 8 at the time, and it was really crazy that I love who I am because it never was something that I actually really wanted. I guess I didn't know the gift I had, let's be honest, because when I had the opportunity to get it, I didn't have any children. I was still in college living on campus. So once I decided to move off of campus and come back home, that's when I started using my voucher. Of course, I was working, so there were certain amounts I would have to pay. I'm learning. There was different family and family friends who helped the sister out. Thank you. They would take me to my briefings and teach me the ropes, how to apply for food stamps and different things I would need, to get by. And I made it. I did. I listened to everything. I listened to everybody. Even if your advice did not necessarily help me directly, it was able to help someone around me. I've always been very resourceful. I will help whoever, whenever, however, for the most part. That's just what I like to do. I learned a whole lot about the city of Indianapolis. I did. I've experienced some things that I can't wait till I truly make it so I can talk about it, Everything is not what it seems. I don't really think that a lot of these government agencies and nonprofits are out to really help you. Because guess what? If you really help somebody and they made it, if everybody made it, a lot of these jobs wouldn't be needed, would they? Yeah. So after I took that business venture, at that time, I also was a licensed foster parent. I have fostered over, 30 children. I'm not sure. I mentored several other. I don't know the numbers. I've just been there for a lot of people. But I will say this. I always exhausted my limitations, baby. There is no limit. There was no white line for me. If I was able to do it, I did it. I signed up for it. I went to the classes. I got my certifications. Whatever I had to do, I did it. And sometimes I did it twice. Like my CNA license, I got that twice. I started my nursing journey all through school. I went to nursing 2000 through high school. I always wanted to be an RN. Shout out to all the RNs out there. You go, girl. Once I experienced being an RN, I really wanted to be an OBGYN. Yes, I did. I wanted to deliver babies for the rest of my life. I've always loved everything that had to do with labor and delivery. I loved womanhood. I love motherhood. I never thought I would have 4 children though, but it was just something that I admired. But that's just a little bit about me. A lot of things people don't know. And I love fashion. So when I changed my mind about being a nurse, because honey, my CNA, my teachers, they were hard on, my instructors were hard on me because I had a hard time touching things without a glove on. And I'll walk in the hallways, and y'all know, see, like if you've ever been through CNA classes, or you cannot walk out the patient's room or anywhere with gloves on. Like, they think you're going from patient to patient with the same gloves on, even if you change them. That's just what it looks like. And honey, I had gloves on if I had to go get some water. I had a clean pair of gloves. I changed gloves all day, every day. Just, I was finicky. I was too finicky to be naturally loving to patients. And when I noticed that about myself, I switched gears, because I would not want, even with me being a caregiver and learning a whole lot with taking care of my own grandmother as a young teenager, very young, and being there and helping, and other family members being there and helping, I was very hands-on with them. There were certain things that still bothered me, which made me think that, dang, Bernice, how you gonna be a nurse if you can't get through some body fluids, or you know, something drop on you, or, you know, how you gonna get through it? And I still thought I could do it. I did. So everybody in the health professions, kudos to you. You guys are the big dogs, because I just I don't know what it is. The anxiety is through the roof, okay? But that's okay though, because I have been still a wonderful person. My heart is huge. I found ways I could give back on all other levels. I found ways to help and be there for people, elderly. I've always loved my older people. I always had something in me to help. I don't know. Hold on one second, I'm sorry. I'm getting a call. It's my baby brother. Okay, I'll call him back. And so I don't know how to explain it, but I found other ways to fulfill that dream in me. So I have no regrets there, because as I said, I just realized that it's so much about being a healthcare worker that I was not ready for. I wasn't. I would have loved to have been Dr. Bernice now. I could still be Dr. Bernice now. Don't underestimate me. I can get my doctorate in all kind of things, you know. But it's I don't know. I have made moves that nobody could believe. I don't talk about it much. Most time when you figure out about it, it's already been done. I feel like a lot of the times when you, I'm sorry, my 4-year-old needs some attention. Give me 1 second. Dawson, you okay? Turn them lights off. Okay, turn them lights off. Tell Eric I'm recording. Thank you. House full of kids, quarantine, 2020. It's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. I think that some things that you gotta go through on your own should be kept to yourself. You and God. That's me. That's just my theory. I don't feel like I owe anybody explanation for that. A lot of the times, even when you do express yourself to people, they're not listening to listen the way you think they are. They're listening to gather whatever bits of information they can to go tell somebody else, or to use against you to judge you, or whatever the situation is. That's none of my business what they take it and do with it. But what is my business is what I decide to tell them. So that's just the way I move. That's the way I move. So when it came to opening up my businesses, everything, like once I actually opened, everybody knew me. Even if you didn't know me, you was a stranger. Oh, good. Go shop Be Love Couture. That was my thing. It was like Be Love Couture was like something I gave birth to, something I carried 9 months and I gave birth to. Like I said, I was working at Chase Bank, and I just was like, you know, Bernice, you want a new car? Your credit score is 750. Go get you a new car. So I went, I bought me a brand new car off the showroom floor. It had 8 miles on it. Hot mess. I'll never do that again. I won't. Unless I got cash to buy it. I got some money back. It's like a rebate or something. I don't know what they call it, but because I worked for Chase Bank, they gave me some money toward I put it toward my down payment. I took my last 2 checks and I took my income tax return for that year, and I opened my business. I opened my business on February 28th of 2014. Wow, it's 2020 now. So it's been a little while. 2014, I spent about probably, I don't know, on supplies and the store. If you put everything together, probably $30,000. I didn't get any loans. I didn't get anything from anybody. I literally hustled. I hustled that. Everything I bought, I sold. Even if I wanted to save something for myself. Luckily, at the time, I was pretty overweight. So a lot of the stuff that I bought, I couldn't fit. And as I said, fashion was my passion too. So I wanted it. It was cute. I just couldn't fit it. So I sold it, honey. I made my money. Hey, if you knew me, then you knew. I enjoyed it. I got a chance to meet people I never met before. A lot of those people, I still know. We ran our business together. We threw events together. We vendored together. We ordered things together. I ordered things for a lot of people through my Connect in China. I got a chance to experience ordering wholesale out of the country, getting things shipped here, paying thousands of dollars out in shipping fees. I just got a chance to explore something different, and it felt amazing. I loved it. At that time, I was, like I said, I had a Section 8 voucher. I gave up my voucher in November of 2014. I just walked away. That was fast. Too fast. Very premature. But that's okay, though, because it's just me. That's just the way I operate a lot of times. Some things I do prematurely because I just like to be on the up and up with things. And there was a lot going on in my community at the time, and there was another family that was being indicted by the FBI for living over there in those apartments I was living in around that time. And I just was like, you know what? You won't get turn time scrolling, not with Bernice attached to it on the news. Not this time. So I kept it moving, and I just thank God. It's been a wonderful experience. It has. Listen, whatever I had to do, I did it. with the moral compass that I've always had, you know. There's been some ups. There's been a lot of downs. But I always stay positive. If you know me and if you catch me venting, just thank God I chose to vent to you, because that doesn't happen that often. But I'm always try to find the positive side of things, because I had already been through too much before I even became an adult. I had already learned how to be positive in devastating situations. It's just the way I do things. And so, long story short, here we are in 2020. 2019, I launched my catering company, Savannah's Kitchen. Savannah is my 9-month-old. She'll be 10 months in a couple weeks. That is my girl, my daughter, my first daughter, my only daughter. I have 3 boys that came before her. But yes, I named it Savannah's Kitchen. It's been wonderful. But I'm a type of person that I love to have what I need to be able to get my job done. So it has been a journey trying to find my first location for Savannah's Kitchen. And honestly, I want Savannah's Kitchen to be in California, in Georgia, you know, in Arizona. I want Savannah's Kitchen to be everywhere. I love my home city. I love Indianapolis. I love my people here. I have a lot of support. But I want everyone to be able to experience Savannah's Kitchen. But you always got to start somewhere. You got to make rational decisions. If I didn't have children, baby, let me tell you something. I'll be in Indianapolis Entrepreneur of the Year. Because I believe in taking some risk, honey, when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Honestly, this year, I look forward to finding more friends with that mentality. It's nothing like having somebody who is willing to invest in themselves, who is willing to live out the dreams, everything that they dreamed of all their life, and keep hope alive, you know? And just doers, not talkers, but doers. People who really get out and do what they need to do to live out their dreams. So it has been wonderful talking to you guys. I'm sorry, I didn't eat much. This is how things are nowadays. I'll tell you about that later. But it's so good. It is so good. My mama and my daddy gonna be like, why you didn't bring that over here? Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Listen. What restaurant can you go get a lobster that big crab? Probably somewhere in the South. Not in Indianapolis though. But yeah, so I want to take this YouTube thing to another level. I would appreciate you all liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. Support your girl. Okay? Because I'm going places. We gonna make it. We all are. We really are. And I really believe that. I do. If it's God's will, we are going to make it. So yes, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Tell them Bernice got this thing going on YouTube and you can't miss out. Peace out.